U.S. President Donald Trump's crackdown on undocumented migrants is continuing to cause fear in communities across the country. The president has previously said that he has no choice.
Since Donald Trump's second election victory, the debate over illegal immigration in the USA has heated up.
Nearly 180,000 illegal immigrants with criminal records ordered deported from our country.
In 2023, a record 2.4 million illegal border crossings were reported, fueling heated arguments on both sides. While some push for tougher policies, others highlight the need for compassion and reform. Border control has become a top issue, with rising tensions about who should stay and who should go. What are the real impacts of these policies on America's future? How will this crisis shape the nation moving forward? Let's see. First off, let's talk numbers. According to U.S. Customs and Border Protection, there were over 2.4 million encounters at the southern border in 2023 alone. That's a record high, and it's got a lot of people worried. These numbers include both people trying to cross illegally and those seeking asylum.
One such border crosser was released and made his way to Nebraska. There, he ended the life of an innocent young girl named Sarah Root.
The surge has put a strain on border towns where resources are stretched thin. For example, in places like El Paso, Texas, shelters are overflowing and local governments are struggling to keep up. Now let's talk about crime. This is where things get really heated. Some folks argue that illegal immigration leads to more crime, while others say there's no real evidence to back that up. According to a 2020 study by the Cato Institute, immigrants, both legal and illegal, are less likely to commit crimes than native-born Americans. But that doesn't mean there aren't problems. For instance, drug trafficking is a huge issue at the border. Cartels are smuggling drugs like fentanyl, which has caused a deadly overdose crisis in the U.S. In 2022, the DEA seized over 50 million fentanyl-laced pills, many of which came across the southern border. But it's not just drugs. Human trafficking is another major concern. Thousands of people, including children, are smuggled into the U.S. every year. Many of them are forced into labor or sex trafficking. It's a heartbreaking situation, and it's happening right under our noses. Just last year, a bus in Arizona led to the rescue of over 30 victims, most of whom were minors. Stories like these make it clear that the border crisis isn't just about immigration, it's about safety too. Speaking of safety, let's talk about what's being done to address these issues. President Donald Trump has been one of the loudest voices on this topic. On January 27, 2024, at a rally in Las Vegas, Nevada, he said, "We have an invasion happening at our border, and it's destroying our country." He's promised to crack down hard on illegal immigration if he's re-elected in 2024. Now that he has stepped into the role of acting president, it's clear what the future holds. Trump's zero-tolerance policy during his first term led to the separation of thousands of families at the border, a move that sparked nationwide protests. Whether you agree with him or not, it's clear his stance resonates with a lot of Americans. But to be honest, cracking down on illegal immigration isn't as simple as building a wall or deporting people. There are real human stories behind the numbers. Many of these people are fleeing violence, poverty, and corruption in their home countries. Take Venezuela, for example. Over 7 million people have left the country in recent years due to economic collapse and political unrest. A lot of them end up at the U.S. border, hoping for a better life. It's hard to blame them for wanting to escape such dire conditions. So, what does the future hold? Well, it's hard to say for sure, but one thing's clear. The U.S. needs a comprehensive solution. That means addressing the root causes of migration, like poverty and violence in Central and South America. It also means fixing the broken immigration system, which hasn't seen major reforms since the 1980s. Right now, the process for coming to the U.S. legally is long, expensive, and complicated. Many people feel they have no choice but to come illegally. Another big question is how climate change will play into all of this. Rising temperatures, droughts, and natural disasters are already forcing people to leave their homes. By 2050, it's estimated that over 140 million people could be displaced due to climate-related issues. Many of them will likely head north, putting even more pressure on the U.S. border. This is a problem that's only going to get worse if we don't start planning for it now. That said, the perception of crime linked to illegal immigration has a big impact on public opinion. It's a major talking point for politicians, especially during election seasons. For instance, during the 2024 campaign, candidates from both parties have been using the border crisis to rally their bases. Democrats are calling for more humane policies, while Republicans are pushing for stricter enforcement. It's a divisive issue, and it's not going away anytime soon. President Donald Trump has been front and center with his tough stance on the issue. Back in November 2024, during an interview, he doubled down on his plan to deport millions of undocumented immigrants. He said, "It's not a question of a price tag. Really, we have no choice." This kind of talk fires up his supporters, but it also sparks a lot of pushback from others, especially state and local leaders. So what do you think is the best way to handle this crisis? Share your thoughts in the comments. See you in our next video. Until then, take care and thanks for watching.